Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. You guys know the vibes, man. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get it. It's good, everybody. Let's go. Pablo, Garrett, Jenny, Mo, Casey, John, JJ, Vaughn, Sherman, Steph. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get it, man. We got a lot to cover tonight, so we're going to get straight into it. If everybody can see clear, hear clear, put a 1 for me, and let's get it, man. We got a big night ahead of us. Big night ahead of us. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's about that time, man. It's about that time. Steph, El Blanca, Shy, Vanessa, Brian, Sandy, how you doing? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Alrighty. Everybody's good to go? Good to go? Let's get it, man. We got a massive night ahead of us. Massive week ahead of us. I think we have a massive opportunity as well. Not just for the downside, but long-term swings and everything in between with the current state of the market. That being said, we have a lot to cover tonight. As always, welcome everyone. For anybody that's new here, we're going to go into the economic calendar first. Then we're going to hop into the watch list for the week ahead. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the economic calendar here, and we will get straight into it. We are going into Monday, March 31st. Ended off March here on a Monday. I'm actually a fan of that monthly candle closing on Monday. I'm a big fan of that, actually. Very big fan of that. But let's get into it. Here we go. Monday, March 31st. Kicking the week off, we have PMI at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that is March 31st. Tuesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, whatever you would like to call it. PMI again here at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by ISM and JOLTS at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is going to be Tuesday, April 1st. Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have factory orders here. Going into Thursday, April 3rd. Big day here with jobless claims, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by PMI again at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then ISM again at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is going to be Thursday, April 3rd. Friday, probably the biggest day of the week here for obvious reasons. One, we have non-farm payrolls at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have Mr. Powell speaking at 11:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, that's a big day, right? Non-farm itself is a very big data point. And of course, you guys know when Powell talks, that is a very big data point. Or speech, whatever you want to call it. So, got to be careful, right? Got to be careful. Very careful. Friday's going to be a very big day for the market. And but that being said, right, we got to be cautious, right? We got to be cautious. Market itself has been very volatile. We've seen a ton of weakness, and we have big data weeks like this. It just kind of adds fuel to the fire. But that's what we're watching this week in terms of economic data. Let's get into these charts. We got a lot to cover, so let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Alrighty. First things first here. Let's hop into this NQ chart. Let me go ahead and actually pull up my Trade-Evate. I closed it out, but I'm going to open it back up because if there is an opportunity, I would love to take it with you guys. If there is an opportunity, I would love to take it with you guys. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. I don't know why my computer's acting so slow. How about everybody's weekend, though? Everybody had a good weekend? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm going to try to get my trade evade pulled up here, but it's not working for some reason. Why? I couldn't tell you. Why? I couldn't tell you. Oh, there we go. I had it open on my phone, that's why. Can't have them both open. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this upcoming trading week. I'm excited in general because these pullbacks bring a ton of opportunity. What's going on right now? Oh, we're starting to get a relief bounce. Finally. Finally. These are the most consecutive green candles we've seen since Friday morning. Right? Like literally since Friday morning, it was a straight knife down, which I was just talking about a little bit earlier. That's when shit gets a little ugly because the risk reward starts to flip, but obviously you can't just long it based off of that. Downside just gets unsustainable when you start to see little relief bounces like that, which can turn into a massive explosion if shorts start to get trapped. That is why it's so dangerous. But give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to try to open up my trade of 8, which I am doing right now. And if we get an opportunity, we will definitely take it together. For sure. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Alrighty. I don't know why this is giving me so much trouble. Shay, I don't have any clue, man. I try not to keep up with that type of shit, you know what I mean? It doesn't pay my bills. Doesn't affect my day, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, sometimes this shit is weird, man. I don't know why it does that to me. Like disconnects everything and makes everything harder on me. Alrighty, I think we are good to go. Alrighty, y'all. Alright, back in action. Let's freaking get it. We're about to get into NQ here in a second, but I want to keep a close eye on this chart real quick. There's a reason I pulled up my my trade evade because I like opportunity here. I see some nice opportunity on this chart, which I'm about to cover right now. To cover right now. Alrighty, first things first. Sorry about that little delay, guys. First things first, let's work our way down here. This is the monthly time frame, right? Monthly time frame. Now, overall structure, right? If we were to just get into overall structure real quick, we're still bullish, right? For the most part, right? We still have our higher highs, still have our higher lows. But if we really hone in on these last few months, it's not really not really bullish, right? It's not at all. We have our high, failure to go higher, break of structure. March is extremely weak. Not only is March extremely weak, we have rising volume. March closes tomorrow, right? So if this closes extremely weak, right? With a move like this of this caliber, where we're down 2,150 points, 10% in a monthly candle. So we essentially corrected in March alone. Not including the move from all-time highs, which puts us down about 15%, right? So we are in a full-blown correction right now. We are about 5% away from reaching bear market territory, which would put us about 18,000, right? A lot of people are overlooking the fact that this chart is deadly, right? Like very, very deadly. We're closing out March alone down 10% in this month, right? So going into next month, right, it's very likely we do see a pop, right? We're not just going to open the next month candle and shit the bed, right? I don't want to say that because there is a possibility. But I think we'll at least create a little wick, right? We'll create a little wick, which would be a little bounce, right? So if we pop and we start to create that wick and move lower, that's the opportunity on a lower time frame, like the weekly or daily, because that'll be a lower high, and obviously on the monthly that'll be a wick. So it's kind of my top watch here, which I'll break down on a lower time frame in a second. But when you see a big move like this, and the context is there, right? Double top, failure to go higher, breaker structure. This is a monthly time frame. This is going to be the last chart to reverse, right? You'll have the intraday chart reverses first, then hourly, daily, weekly, and then monthly last. So what we're looking here looking for on the monthly is we're looking for that pop, right? And then we're looking for that failure. Once we get back below the current month's low, that's when that downside really gets ugly. And on the weekly, that's going to look something like this, right? Obviously now we have our double top, we have our breaker structure. This weekly is in a full-blown downtrend now. Why? We have our high, we have our lower high, we had our low, we swept that low. So now we have a lower high and a lower low. What's a downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows, right? This chart looks amazing for lower, but obviously there's a few things holding us up. Number one is where we're currently trading. This is a massive demand. You can see what happened last time we tested this demand. We had a massive sell-off, lower high, right back into this demand, pushed us back into new all-time highs. So we are sitting in a major demand right now, but looking at this weekly chart, it does look like we want to go a lot lower. We're coming off of a massive bearish engulfing with rising volume. This looks amazing, right? On top of that, if you look at this chart, we just retested at massive supply. This is just a classic bearish break and retest. Double top, failure to go higher, break of structure, retest of that support turn resistance, and we're going lower. So now we have this lower high here to pair with that high, that low, which was swept. So now we have a new lower low. This is bearish. Right? Everything about this chart is bearish at this moment. So taking that into the daily, what do we have here? Same exact thing. Where we pushed back into this major supply, we failed, formed a lower high. Overnight, we swept those previous lows. What is a downtrend? We have our high, lower high, lower high, low, lower low. That's a downtrend. This daily is in a full-blown downtrend. And with that being said, I think the market can get a lot lower. Obviously, there's a few big obstacles in the way. One is being that 19,000. You can see the significance of that 19,000 here. This is massive. But if we break that 19,000, you can see it's a long way to go. So, whole game plan this trading week moving forward. We're down 15%, like I said, right? In terms of the indices, NQ's down the most. ES just reached correction territory. YM's in correction territory. RTY's in correction territory. You have NQ leading the way in weakness here. So if those other names were to get extremely weak, you could expect NQ to go a lot lower. That's why I've been so adamant about NQ reaching a full-blown bear market, because if those other names really start selling in the manner that NQ has, NQ is going to be the first to touch that bear market territory, just like it was the first to touch that correction territory. Obviously, there's a few things that are away, but that doesn't still take away from the fact that this chart looks great for lower. And as long as this chart is in the fashion that it's in, you don't want to be sitting here trying to catch a falling knife. So what we're watching this week is very simple. Now, I do want to take into account a couple things. This move right here is not sustainable. Us dropping 1,000 points without a single hourly green candle is a problem. Right? And that's why we're seeing the bounce that we're seeing right now. It's because that shorts bit off more than they can chew. And where did they bite off more than they can chew at? Back into this major demand. So now the big question is, when we start bouncing here and get a relief bounce, is this relief bounce going to catch fire? Are shorts going to get caught in their position, end up having to buy them back, we reclaim and end up squeezing parabolically? That's the big question. The levels to watch are 1, 19,350. This is the all eyes on deck level. You guys can see the significance of this level as support. Now, overnight, we have broken below it. So the whole game plan this week is simply watching a push back into the 19,300, 19,400 area. If we show weakness in this area, this is an A+ setup for a reject. Not only a reject, but we could look for a swing entry here, back down into that 19,900. If we lose that 19,900, the market's in big trouble down into the low 18,000s, right? Now, I like to always keep you guys prepared. So, let's say a bullish scenario. We hold this overnight low, push back to 19,375, and reclaim it. If we reclaim that 19,375 and start to hold above it, the squeeze risk is high. Why? Because this will turn this chart into a failure to go lower. we will now have turned this resistance back into support, and that would be a classic reclaim and retest, which would then turn into likely a parabolic squeeze back into where? The next resistance, 19,600. So with that being said, all eyes are going to be on the following levels. Going into this trading week, very simple approach. We're below 19,350. Look for those pops to short back into it, ultimately targeting that 19,000. Now, as I stated, if we get above that 19,375 and we hold, start to build above it, you can use that 19,375 as your reference for longs, targeting that 19,600. If we get back up into this 19,600 supply here, that is a very, very valid area to go short, back down into that 19,375. So levels are very clear this upcoming trading week, right? Very, very clear. These are beautiful setups, right? A-plus setups that we can put risk on, right? These are beautiful, beautiful levels. And I'm very excited to trade, right? Very excited to trade. But let's talk about some overnight setups real quick. Setups that I would take with you guys right now. One thing I'm watching here is a push back into this structure. You guys can see this was a big support, which turned to resistance. So if we could push back into this 19,260, 19,280 area and show weakness, I will look for a reject back down into these overnight lows. Now, if we end up getting strong here and blowing through it, that's completely fine. I'm going to watch that 19,350, 19,375 area for a much higher conviction reject. This is the A-plus setup for me, right? All eyes on this previous month's low, 19,350. This is the main watch, right? Like I said, in my opinion, long as we're below this 19,350, find a pop, short it. Find a pop, short it, right? That's the game plan, for me at least, right? But that's what I'm watching there on NQ. Let's move over here to ES. Little bit different chart. Overall structure here on this monthly, obviously still very bullish. Closing out March here, extremely, extremely weak. Nice rising volume as well. Massive Mariposa. We broke that structure, got the failure to go higher. This is the bearish reversal indication in terms of the monthly. And as I just spoke about a few minutes ago, you're always going to see those lower time frames reverse first. So if this monthly does follow and we get all those in confluence, market's in big trouble. But what we're watching right now, we're in a big demand. If you look at the weekly here, this is a major, major demand on ES. Now, does that mean you just immediately go long, you immediately buy calls? No. Look at the context. We have a double top. We have a failure to go higher. We had a break of structure, right? So this was a massive, massive demand, which we broke, retested on Friday as resistance, failed, closed that last week out with a bearish engulfing. This is prime short setup, right? You have that failure to go higher, break of structure. Now we have that lower high on the weekly. Now we have that bearish engulfing. So it's very simple, right? If we can break that 55.80, it's over, right? It's over. We now have a lower high on the weekly. Got that retest of the structure. This is a chart that's geared for lower, right? Everything there that we need to see is there. So with that being said, if we get down to the daily, we'll really be able to pinpoint what we're looking for, right? And just to reiterate how significant this chart is, right? You have the double top, you have the failure to go higher, and just going back and analyzing this chart could do you guys a lot of justice. If you want to know what a very key level looks like, look at that 5,800, 5,840, right? Massive resistance, support, support, support. If you see a level like this, right, where you've been shown countless occasions that this is a very respected level, why would you not trust it again? It's that simple. We've seen on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different wicks, 5 massive pivots that this was a very, very respected level. Why do you think I swung short last week? Simple. Break and retest. That's it. This was a major support. We broke it. We held below it. We popped. We retested it. We failed. I went short with a stop loss above that high. Now, that high is a lower high, right? If you look at the daily chart here, that's an indication of a downtrend, right? We have our high. Now we have our lower high. If we were to break these lows, that's a full-blown downtrend here on the daily. So this is in big trouble, right? Big trouble. Monthly, weekly, daily, big trouble. Now, where we can really start narrowing down our game plan is the hourly here. Again, if you look at where we're trading right now, we are back into this major demand. As I stated with NQ, it's significantly weaker. We broke those daily lows. So we're going to get one of two things here, right? NQ is going to be the divergence, where it broke the lows, traps everybody short. ES, YM, and RTY hold the demand, end up bouncing. NQ reclaims, whole market squeezes. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two is NQ was our hint. NQ, we got the breakdown, we got the break of the daily lows. Now, ES, RTY, and YM will follow. The big question is, what's going to happen? So now we got to just essentially be patient. Because if you look here, ES is still holding that demand. We're still holding those daily lows. This could easily turn into a double bottom, right? Easily. But what we're watching this week, right? What we're watching. Number one, massive, let me fix my chart here. Massive levels. 55, 60. Very simple. This is a line in the sand for lower. If we get below 55, 60, short it with your eyes closed, target that 5,500. We could see that 5,400 shortly after, right? That's number one. Number two, 5,600. This is more of an overnight trade I'm watching right now. Push back into 5,600. We show weakness in this area. This is where you can look for a reject back down into 55, 60. Main watch. Let's say the market sees some relief, which it needs. Reclaim 5,600. 5,600, if we reclaim it and hold it as support, you could go long back at this 56.50, 56.55. That's going to be my top watch here for a reject. You guys can simply see the significance of this level, right? Massive supply here. If we push back into this 56.50, 56.55, that is the A+ setup for a rejection back down into that 5,600. And that's the game plan for the week ahead on ES. Very simple. 55.60 to the downside, 5,600 up to upside, 56.50. That simple, right? That simple. And like I said, we have ES here, right? Our NQ broke those daily lows. That could have been the cue for lower. Or ES could be the cue for that demand bounce, right? So we're kind of in a tricky scenario here where there's nothing left for us to do except be patient. And this is where we got to really be patient because we don't want to get trapped, right? One of the two is going to happen. Like I said, you have the divergence between ES and NQ. ES is holding demand. NQ broke demand. Either NQ was our hint for ES to break later on, or ES was our hint that NQ is going to reclaim and the market's going to end up squeezing. So we're kind of in a tricky scenario here, right? But that's what I'm watching on NQ and ES. YM, again, still holding that demand. Yes, we have that lower high on the daily now, but we haven't broken those lows. So it's a little tricky scenario here. Very tricky scenario at that. But for you, those of you guys that like to trade YM, massive level, 41,800. Massive level, 41,600. Push back into 41,800 on YM. Watch that area for rejection back down into that 41,600. We lose 41,600. Short it back into 41,300, 41,000. That simple. RTY, totally different chart here. Again, this could be our cue. What do you notice here? Could have a nice little double bottom, right? But again, when you go back and look at patterns like this, a beginner trader sees a double bottom. Why? Because that's the first thing they're looking at. They see two bottoms, so they say double bottom, right? A big thing a lot of you guys are lacking is context, right? Context of the market, context of the setup. Yes, that could be a double bottom, but in order for it to be a double bottom, we would have to get two bottoms and a break of structure because a double bottom is a bullish reversal pattern. The proper way to look at this chart would be a bear H. Does anybody know why? Why would that be the proper setup for this chart? Does anybody know? Why would that be the proper setup for this chart? Does anybody know? In the meantime, I'm going to take a drink of water. Give me 1 second. Perfect. We've been extremely weak. Not only have we been extremely weak, a double bottom requires 2 pivots, right? Just because you see a double bottom does not mean it's a double bottom. Before every breakdown, there's a double bottom, right? For example, if we were to come down and break, there would have to be a double bottom for us to break. That's why it's so important for you to go back and look at context. I see so many traders on a day-to-day basis see a double bottom or double top intraday, like, oh, I'm going to short it. Oh, I'm going to long it, right? And it's the total opposite of the trend. Like, just because you see a pattern, if it's not with the context of the overall structure and trend, it's kind of irrelevant until it shifts, right? And I feel that's where a lot of you guys go wrong, right? You see what you want to see, right? And I don't feel that's the proper way to trade because it puts you in situations that you shouldn't be in, right? That's first and foremost. It puts you in situations that you shouldn't be in. And that is my little hot take or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, man. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Anyway, silver, failing these highs here, tricky. Gold, absolutely love, sitting at all-time highs. If we can get an entry sometime this week, I'll definitely take it with you guys. Oil, I love this chart as well. Nice little cup and handle, nice little bull flag here on the daily. We'll look for an entry sometime this week, hopefully tomorrow. I think oil can see a lot higher. You can trade this on options or futures, right? Little bull flag here, whatever you want to call it. It's bullish, right? Why is it bullish? Let's take a look at this chart. Quick little lesson for you guys. Why would this be a bullish setup? Simple. Look at the chart. We just bounced off a macro demand, right? Have a higher low, have a higher high, holding that higher low. Most important context here is this macro demand. Bounced off a macro demand, broke this daily downtrend. This is a bullish setup, right? So with that being said, oil, very simple. Long as we're above this 69, you could literally just pick up a dip with the stop below that 68.50, target that 70.5, ultimately targeting that 73.50. I'm going to look to enter this on options as well tomorrow or sometime throughout this week. Alrighty, let's get into the individual names here. We're going to start off with SPY. I don't really want to cover SPY and QQQ too much tonight because, as you've seen, futures have gapped down tremendously, right? So, we don't need to spend too much time on them because they're not going to be at the same levels they are now tomorrow. All right? Anyway, SPY, here we are. You can see, broke this massive uptrend on the monthly. That's our first indication of a bearish reversal. Very weak bar throughout this month. Nice rising volume. So, we have indications of a bearish reversal here on the monthly. Weekly, fully reversed, right? We have that double top here on SPY. Same thing we just talked about in ES. Double top. Failure of that structure, classic break and retest, support, turn resistance, have that lower high, have that massive bear flag here, have that massive bearish engulfing. This is a beautiful chart for lower. That simple. With that being said, right, we'll cover a couple levels here, but I'll go over the rest of them tomorrow on Zoom because like I said, SPY is not going to be here. It's going to either be down or up depending on what futures do overnight. But massive level, 550. We all know that. If SPY is below this 550, short it down into that 540. That's simple, right? That's pretty much all I can say about SPY right now because I don't know where it's going to open tomorrow. So we'll discuss SPY more tomorrow. But yeah, QQQ, pretty much same thing, right? Got that full-blown weekly flip. Got that break and retest of that structure, that daily 200 MA. Perfect bear flag here on the weekly. Bearish engulfing, double top, shift of structure. We're in trouble, right? That's the bottom line, right? Anybody who looks at this chart and says, I want to be long, needs their fucking head checked, right? Anybody that looks at this monthly chart and says, I want to be long, needs their fucking head checked, right? Weekly, monthly, daily, doesn't matter. If you look at these charts and say, I want to be long, you need your fucking head checked, right? That's the bottom line. But yeah, we'll discuss QQQ and SPY tomorrow a lot more in depth. And alrighty, let's move into these individual names. Again, I kind of don't even want to go into these individual names too much because there's probably going to be a big gap down or whatever. It might not be. But as of right now, the market is down significantly from Friday's close, which would indicate a gap down. So we'll cover these real quick. But like I said, I don't want to go too in depth because of the gap down. Anyway, Google. Beautiful chart, right? Beautiful, beautiful chart here. Look at Google. Broke this macro uptrend. Retested it on Friday's session. Massive bearish engulfing here on the weekly. Close below that massive demand at 156. This is a chart that looks like it wants to go a lot lower. And with that being said, what I want to watch here on Google. One, massive demand. Right? Massive demand. 146, 148. You guys can see the significance of this demand here. So, with that being said, the game plan on Google, right? Just look at that weakness. That's absolutely insane. Google needs a relief bounce, right? That's very evident. And if we do get a bounce, I want to watch this 157 or 160 area for a reject on Google. Much higher conviction up here at 160, but I would test at 157. Side note, if we get that break and hold below 153.50, Friday's lows on Google, I want to look to go short down into that demand at 150 and then start to look to flip long down here at 146, 148 for that macro demand. And that's the game plan on Google. Very simple, very beautiful chart. And yeah, man, set your alerts. Next, we have Microsoft here. Beautiful chart, right? Beautiful chart for obvious reasons. Monthly, just broke that structure. Weekly, full-blown reversal. What do we notice here on the weekly? Got that high, got that lower high, broke that massive demand, retested it as resistance, closed out, nice little bear flag, massive bearish engulfing from Friday's session. This is huge, right? This is a chart that looks like it wants a ton lower. And with that being said, all eyes are going to be on these daily lows, right? All eyes are going to be on these daily lows. 377. Closed right back into this massive structure on Microsoft. 377. This is the all eyes on me level. If we get below 377 on Microsoft, look for those pops to short, targeting that 367. Higher risk approach here to trade Microsoft. Watch that 381, 382. Pop back into it, show weakness. Look for that short back down into 377. And that's the game plan here on Microsoft. Next, we have Tesla. Tesla's a very, very wonky chart. Sitting down about 50% from all-time highs. Flipped that daily chart off that daily 200 moving average. But it held up pretty strong relative to the market. And that's what I really want to point out here, right? Earlier in the week, Tesla seen nice strength. And when the market lost its ass on Friday, Tesla really didn't sell too hard. And on top of that, Tesla is sitting above this macro demand. And this is what I want to hyper focus on here. This demand here at 250, 252. This is also in confluence with that 100 MA and 200 MA on the weekly. So if Tesla is above this on Monday and we push down into this demand 250, 252, this is where I want to look for a demand bounce to go long on Tesla. Very, very simple, right? Beautiful level here. Beautiful chart. Looks very, very good. Now, on the flip side, always like to keep you guys prepared. If Tesla loses that 250, longs off the table, we can use it as a reference to go short 242, ultimately targeting that 230. And that is the game plan on Tesla. Very simple, very clean, very clear. Missed an entry on NQ. Where's it at? Oh shit, it's at my level. It's at my level. Yeah, this is where I'm looking for a short here. I think we can get down at least to this 19,210. The reason I say 19,210 because it looks like we're forming a little inverted head and shoulders here overnight. Neckline is that 19,275. 19,275. We'll keep an eye on it. I honestly would like to go short right here, and I think it's very valid. Even if you do, you could just take an entry here, stop above that high, target that 19,220, and then those overnight lows. I think that looks very, very good. Very, very good. Alrighty, let's move forward here. Meta, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Beautiful chart here. Multiple reasons. One, massive failure of those all-time highs. Full-blown downtrend here on the daily with that lower high, lower lows. Except we closed back into a major demand. 575 here on Meta has been a huge pivot. It also is that daily 200 MA. So with that being said, what I want to watch here on Meta, all eyes are going to be on this 575, right? Two things. One, if we hold this 575, we could use this as a reference for longs back into that 598. But the main watch here is going to be a break and hold below 575 on Meta if it can get weak below it, and we can look for that short down into 550. Mark my words, if Meta loses this 575, the downside can get super, 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 super ugly. So keep that on watch. That looks very, 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 very good. All right. Next, we have Apple. Apple's an absolute beautiful chart here. Got the double top, fair to go higher. Broke that weekly structure, daily lower high. Massive supply here, 220, 221. You guys can see here, we got that double top, fair to go higher, lower high. Invited that Friday's dump. Game plan here on Apple's very simple. Massive supply here, 220, 221. Pop back into the supply here. This is the area I'm watching for a reject. On the flip side, if Apple continues to see weakness, if we can get below this 217 on Apple, I'm going to look to short those pops back down into that 208 level. And that's the game plan here on Apple. Very simple, very clean, very clear. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching for the week ahead. We've covered an absolute ton. SPY, QQQ, IWM, NQ, ES, YM, RTY, Oil, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Tesla. A few more things I want to cover here. One of them is Nike. Nike. Now, I don't want to be too early to this, but I do want to put a lot of emphasis on this 60 level, right? Look at the significance of this 60 level. We've been watching this for a long time, actually. Long time. This is all the way from back in 2017, which we held again in 2020, which pushed us into new all-time highs. And here we are again in 2025, approaching this massive demand. So, with that being said, all eyes are going to be on the 60 level for Nike. If we can push down to the 60 level and show strength, this is my top watch for a long entry to swing. This looks very, very, very freaking good, all right? So keep that on watch. Target. Target is sitting at this massive weekly demand here. Two things I'm looking to happen on Target. One, if it loses it, we can look for a short on Target down to 100. Not too excited about trading that, but what I am excited about is if Target can break 102 and then reclaim, I want to go long on Target for a swing back into that 120. This is a very early stage setup, so we'll double back on this throughout the week and see what it looks like. But yeah, man, that's what I'm watching this week. Very, very clean chart. Looks good. We got a ton of time left here, so if you guys got any questions, you got any concerns, whatever it may be, whether it's trading related, whether it's, you know, something personal, whatever it may be, right? Feel free to ask it. Now's your time to ask it. I owe you guys a giveaway, so let's get into that in a second. And let's see what we got here. Let me go ahead and fix that. I owe you guys a giveaway as of right now. Go ahead and fix that. Bada bing, bada boom. If you guys got any questions, any concerns, like I said, whether it's trading, personal, whatever the front door you want to ask me, now's the time to ask me, all right? Now is the time to ask it. All right? Take profit trader. What do you know? It's pretty simple. Whatever size account you get, trade for 5 days, pass the eval, you get funded, you're off to the races. How would I get into futures as a beginner? I mean, I would encourage futures for beginners, but the best way to learn anything, I'm not gonna lie, man, and I hope you guys don't take offense to this, but stop being lazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie, stop being lazy. You know what I mean? Like watch this. Don't be lazy, right? That's simple. You want to be more in depth? Here you go. What is the contract movement like on futures for NQ? There you go. Everything you need to know. Right? Like basic questions like that, you can literally, figure out on your own. Like if you got more complex questions, I'm more than happy to answer it. But like basic questions like that, like they're gonna give you a lot better answers than me as well. But yeah, man, just take a couple moments, and yeah. But you guys got anything? Like I said, whether it's trading related, personal, let's get it. Airbnb, sure. Sure. I'm not gonna lie, everything looks weak, man. Everything looks freaking weak. Oh my god, did anybody take that short on NQ? That was fucking beautiful. That was beautiful. I took it exactly when I told you guys to take it. Up $650 a contract. Not bad. Literally, as soon as I told you guys to take it, I took it. Not bad. 600 bucks on one contract. Very nice. First time I'm getting paid for a live. Most importantly, I covered the setup before it even happened. When NQ was down here, I literally told you guys verbatim what I was watching. I said I was watching a push into this 2170, 2180 area. Show weakness, short it. That's exactly what we got. On top of that, I even told you guys when to enter. But where do I trade futures? On Webull and Trade of 8. You give an updated overview of everything your mentorship offers. Yeah, I can help you out. I might leave out a couple things, but click that. It's literally organized everything for you. But an overview, you know what I mean? I don't know what you're really looking. Are you looking for like what it entails or what it offers? Let me see. Can you give an updated overview of everything mentorship offers? Oh, obviously you get the live classes. It's 5 weeks, twice a week, and everything is lifetime after that. You get access to the recording same night. That way you're available to rewatch it if you didn't make it or didn't miss it, and you get lifetime access to everything. Live trading, Discord, whatever it may be. Right, everything's lifetime. I know I'm forgetting stuff because I'm tired of shit, but like I said, I think the best bet's clicking on the link because it's detailed in bullets. I'm absolutely burnt out right now, so you're probably not going to get the answer you want to hear from me. Crypto? Same thing as the market, man. We need a base first, right? Before any more money from me goes into the market, we need a base, right? We need a base. We need a base to be built, right? Like all crypto, doesn't matter. Especially crypto. Crypto can drop 20, 30, 40% in a day. So, yeah. I said what I thought about Airbnb. I said everything looks weak. I have no personal opinion on Airbnb though. Nothing significant at least. How do I have multiple screens for my charts? You can use this top right corner on a trading view, and you can select what you would like. I took a long position on Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, and I would consider heavy highs. Are you swinging short-term expirations? Is what you're saying? Yeah, multiple screens. You just go to the little layout and get it set up. Long-term strategy with your approach: buy fundamentally sound names on a dip. That's simple. That's simple. That's simple. That's simple. That's simple. This short right here looks fucking amazing, by the way. If you're in it, I would just hold it. I mean, we're up $500 a contract, so I mean, you could take it. I only have one, so I'm holding for the fences. What is the best time to buy leaps? Once a base is formed. Unlike equity, you still deal with Greeks with leaps. So it's a little tricky. A little tricky. Why don't I trade after 10 a.m.? I do. I live trade every single day after 10 a.m. Almost. Yeah. Every single day. Live trade every single day for free. Every single day. Here, I'll pin the link right there. All you gotta do is click on it. And there you go. Boom. It's completely free. No sign up. No this. No that. No paywall. No nothing. Click on it. Boom. See you in the morning. How low do we go? My personal opinion, right? My personal opinion. I think NQ 18,000. That's a conservative target, right? 18,000. That's 1,000-point drop from current levels. That's conservative, right? 17,000 a bit aggressive. ES, I would say 5,300 conservative, 5,200 being aggressive. That's what I would say. On SPY, you want me to translate it? QQQ 420, 430. SPY low 500s. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Why don't I charge for live trading? I mean, I do it anyway, right? Whether I'm on Zoom or I'm not on Zoom. You know, I only trade exclusively off the open with my mentees, but afterwards I post a link for everyone, you know, usually around like 10 o'clock, something like that. I like to at least take 1 or 2 trades with just my mentees, but after that, yeah. I make money from trading, you know what I mean? I don't want the responsibility that comes with owning a Discord, at least not at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Ignore that as well. That there is no spots open. We already started. How many micros would you advise when trading? That's the thing, man. I can't really give like position size advice because it's all up to you. You know what I mean? It's all about your risk management at the end of the day. What you're comfortable with, right? It's not about what I'm comfortable with. Trading and leveraging with credit. I mean, I think that's a horrible idea. If you can't trade with money that you can afford to lose, you shouldn't be trading. Best time to trade futures? There's really no best time to trade at all, right? Some days you're going to get action like this, right? Where it's a chop fest, right? And then some days you'll get Friday, where it's just a beautiful day, right? There really is no best time to trade. That's why it's important to show up every day, prepare and plan as if it was going to be a great day. You don't get an opportunity, you don't execute, you go about your business. A big part of trading is knowing when to trade and when not to trade. On top of that, preserving your capital for the conditions that are worth trading. Essentially knowing when to play defense and knowing when to play offense, right? That's a big part of trading. Just didn't work out. No, just didn't work out. Everything happens for a reason. It's all love for everyone. All love for everyone. Alrighty, I don't want to hold a lot of you guys up too long. Let's go ahead and get into this giveaway, and I'll get back into a few more questions. Alrighty, let's get it, y'all. First here, let's go ahead and rock out. Keyword is going to be bear. Bears are out to play, so let's get it. All you got to do is type bear in the chat one time, and you are good to go. You are good to go. When does the next mentorship start? I'm not even sure. I'm going to take a break after this and do a mentee meetup, and then sometime. I'm not sure. There's no definitive date yet. I mean, if you truly don't care, we're only one class in, so I mean, you could join if you want. I would open it, but if not, then yeah. If you're that serious about it, but as of now, it's closed. All right, I'm going to take a drink of water, and then we'll open it up. Alrighty, good luck everybody. Everybody knows the rules. If you see your name pop up on the screen, you got about a minute, give or take a couple seconds. And yeah, man, good luck everybody. Let's go. Trade, that name's familiar. I think that's a good winner there. Where y'all at? Trade, where you at, man? Yes, sir, locked in. Look at that, man. Simple. Easy, right on cue. Let's go. That's a good winner. It's a good winner, good winner, good winner. Where we at? We're at 273. Can we hit 300 by the time we're done? We'll go ahead and rock out with another one. You guys know the vibes, man. You guys know the vibes. Let's get it. 7 more. We'll do one anyway. We'll do one anyway. We'll do one more for shits and gigs. Y'all know the keyword. Turbo. Running right back. Let's go. Type turbo in the chat one time. It'd be good to go. I tell you one thing, I'm fucking exhausted. I'm about to go home and dive head first into my bed. Head first. Head first. It's about to be me right now. Right here. Right now. As soon as I get home. I'll be in bed before the fucking light switch goes off. No cap. Alrighty. Good luck, everybody. Brittina. Oh, we got a lady winner. Let's go. Let's go. Congratulations, Miss Brittina. It'd be very awkward if that was a dude. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie one bit. Be pretty awkward. Brittina, where you at? But yeah, man. Regardless, if you guys won or not. Yes, sir. Oh my goodness, is that a dude? How do you confirm? You're confirmed. Good to go. Good to go. Yeah, man. Congratulations to Trey and Brittina. Shout out to every single one of you guys, man. You guys know I do this for you every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've done it for years, literal years. Don't plan on stopping. Yeah, man, I appreciate every single one of you guys showing up on Sunday, especially at 9 p.m. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Brittina, Trey, be sure to DM Dom on Discord. I just pinned the message. That's all you got to do. DM Dom on Discord. You'll be good to go. And, yeah, man, hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Like I said, I'm about to go dive in my bed head first. And I will see you guys bright and early in the morning for some live trading. You guys know the vibes, man. We got a big week ahead. Super excited for it. And, yeah, man. Charts look amazing. A lot of great setups for us. Fucking stoked for it, man. You guys have a great rest of your night. Again, see you guys bright and early. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Peace.